Deployed in 2017. That was the same year that all the terahertz metamaterials were deployed. So they laid out the backbone, and then the next thing they did was graphinate the population through the COVID pandemic. Here is the system upgrade. We're showing you the 4 different stages so you can follow our concepts here. So first, even with all the technology that they had developed up to this point, it wasn't doing what they wanted it to, meaning controlling humans at the levels of speed and efficiency that they needed. So they did a full system upgrade. This upgrade was initiated in 2017 when they installed the infrastructure for the new system known as the cyber physical backbone. No one in the non-tech world even noticed, but the IEEE world, however, knew all about it. Then, once the infrastructure was deployed, then they graphinated the population through creating a fake pandemic, making people shelter in place for better tracking and tracing abilities, and injected most of the world's population with graphene. They needed the graphene injected, big difference from the bioaccumulation, had to be injected into people's bodies for the amplification of the signals. And the new system with the graphinated population is now ready for the deployment of 15-minute smart cities as a means to control the world's population.
Total control, Alex Jones' voice. Next is the RFID micro C-hip. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shabbat Shalom to you of us that are hopeful. Shabbat Shalom to the elect. Pretty sure Elder Yashawamba did a lesson on this before. Double honors unto you, Elder. You do rule well. But it just came back to my remembrance watching this opening clip, which was going into how we are being affected with biosensors and nanotag micro C-hips that connects us to the internet. But again, without the RFID C-hip, then that in itself is incomplete as a system of control. But in any event, this is a quick video going into the MOTB, the mark of the beast system, the beast of burden they hope to mark under their new world system of control is you. Revelation 13 and 16, let's get that, and then we'll go into the Greek and close out. Revelation 13 and 16, because it says this, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond speaking to those incarcerated, those in the prison system, those who are locked up and remain properties of the state, to receive a mark in their right hand, and speaking to being marked under physical control, because the mark, which we believe to be the RFID micro C to the H to the I to the P, it could be implanted in your left hand. They could mandate it to be surgically injected in your right leg. It could very well be inserted into any of your left appendages. It makes no difference. Or in their foreheads, speaking to being under mental control and an influence of the beast. Enter advancements in science like Neuralink and the tech upgrades that are sure to follow. Man's goings are of the Lord. There is no such thing as free will, and Esau understands this well. What he's trying to do is subvert the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and put you under his rulership, under his system of subservience and total control. And he causeth all, the he spoken of here is the New World Order's beast system, brought to you by NATO and the EU. In the Greek, which comes to us by way of the Hebrew, there are several examples here that pretty much define what is meant. A couple standouts are to be the authors of, speaking to being the author, the writer or scribe of what? Your destiny. And we'll make more sense out of that thought in a minute. To acquire, to provide a thing for oneself as an ownership. The MOTB is the ultimate symbol of ownership, because a conscious decision on your behalf is being made to relinquish the ties of servitude to the Creator and instead submit yourself to the will of the creation, which is, unfortunately for you, that wildebeest named Esau Edom. To appoint or ordain one, meaning to assign a role or task to be carried out, to or the one to carry out whatever it is you will of it, to put one forth to lead him out. That's pretty much it there. When you go into the Greek for mark, you get the word charagma, a scratch or etching that is stamp as a badge of servitude. Remember, I said a symbol of ownership. If memory serves correct, it was Elder Apostle Tahar who broke it down as the syringe that injects the mark, stamp being the operative word, of course. From charagma, you get karax, a palisade, a pale or stake. Karax comes through by way of the Greek karasso, meaning to sharpen to a point. Karasso is defined as the needle that the C hip is injected. So karax and karasso are akin to the Greek grapho, which means to grave, as in engrave, as in to write. In Acts 17 and 29, you see the word graven meaning to chisel and engrave. In the Greek, it is the same word used here for mark, which is charagma. We'll go to the hard definition for grapho here. To write, with reference to the form of the letters, to delineate or form letters on a tablet, parchment, paper, or other material. To write, with reference to the contents of the writing, to express in written characters, to give information, direction in writing, to draw up in writing, to compose, dare I say, to author. Okay. Grapho is the data, the information contained in the RFID micro C hip. Okay. The dictionary definition for data, information, be it numbers or facts used to analyze something or make decisions. Quantities, characters, or symbols also qualify, stored on the C hip and transmitted in the form of electrical signals. An example of that is like how neurons transmit messages and are used for communicating with the brain. Another simple way to understand it all is electricity produces light. Light is a symbol of what? Knowledge and understanding. You turn the light on to see. To see is to understand. How's the saying go? He ain't all there. The light isn't on upstairs. That being said, here's a good one. 2 Corinthians 4 and 6, because it says this: For Yahweh, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, hath shined in our hearts, hearts meaning our minds, to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of Yahweh in the face of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. The darkness is the madness and the wickedness of the world we have to endure. These wicked devices being concocted to further spread the darkness in the hopes that it will lead Yasharala and really the elect, the chosen of the chosen people of Israel, astray. The light is this knowledge, this truth. Okay. Two things that stood out to me here. One, the obvious being graphene stemming from the same root, meaning for grapho, graphene from graphite, which graphite is from the Greek word graphene. Look at that, which means to write. The implication here is self-explanatory as it relates to what Esau and the eggheads of Teman are attempting to do with it. The second thing that stood out to me was the definition of graphene and what it says as to what graphene really is. A material that is extracted from graphite and is made up of pure carbon, one of the most important elements in nature, in which we find in daily objects like the lead of a pencil, not so coincidentally a writing tool. In any event, it gives new meaning to words coming to life. Carbon as a chemical element has the atomic number of 6. We know 6 to be the number of man, going back to Revelation 13. Incidentally, I found this excerpt from a book named Number Nuggets in the King James Holy Bible. When you go into the number 6, it says that in Genesis 6, the word man appears 6 times, and that the 6th book of the Bible is Joshua, which the name itself in the English, of course, has 6 letters. The book of Joshua also has 24 chapters, which is a multiple of 6. We know that Joshua is the same name that speaks to our mediator, creator, Yahweh Shai. Not to stray too far off topic, where 7 applies to completion and perfection in spirit, 6 applies to imperfection in man and weakness from sin. Okay, Yahweh Shai coming in the flesh represents that balance and is the only one qualified enough to judge. 2 Timothy 4 and 1 is the precept. And in the same respect, saved because he himself went through it. Hebrews 2 and 16, also a good precept. Let's get that. Really, the point is in 18, but we'll start at 16. Because it says this: For verily he took not on him the nature of angels, but he took on him the seed of Abraham. Wherefore, in all things it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren, that he might be a merciful and faithful high priest in things pertaining to Yahweh, to make reconciliation for the sins of the people. For in that he himself had suffered being tempted, he is able to secure them that are tempted. In any event, something else that should be understood is a carbon atom has 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 what? Electrons. Okay? And that carbon is the main component in DNA. So if you can't see for yourself graphene is being used in an attempt to alter and take over your person through your DNA, contingent on the MOTB micro C hip, of course, then you need to come back into the light.